Hey everybody, Brian Tro coming to you from Mossy Creek Fly Fishing with your fly fishing forecast. The date today is Monday, May 9th. So happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Hope you had a great weekend and a special day. I want to thank you all for all that you do. So the fishing this week is going to be a little hit and miss depending on what you are interested in doing. We had a lot of rain last week, a lot of water coming down the pipe. So really helped out our mountain streams, which needed some rain, really helped out our spring creeks. So if you're looking to go trout fishing, everything looks a-okay as of today. If you're looking to go and do some smallmouth fishing on some of our larger rivers, the rivers are big, they're dirty, and they're going to take more time to come down. So we'll start with that. The James and the Shenandoah got a lot of water this past week. Use your USGS gauges to go check out kind of the gauge heights. And if you're not real familiar with those, Virginia is really fortunate. We've got almost more stream gauge sites on the USGS than any state in the country. We have gauges everywhere. If you're not familiar with the numbers and the graph sizes and all that stuff, just look at your median and your mean flows, okay? And if it's just like orders of magnitude above that, then stay away, all right? We're gonna be watching those drop all week. The water clarity is something to keep an eye on. These streams look like they'll probably be cleared up and probably floatable and fishable by the middle to end of this week. So hopefully it wasn't too much water to wreck the spawn. We always kind of get nervous about that type of thing this time of year. You have all those fragile eggs on the nests, and then you just get huge amounts of water coming down the pipe, and it can really beat up the spawn and break it up and get the fish off their cycle and even kill the eggs. So hopefully it wasn't that big that'll do all that. But for those of you who are just starting to really get enjoying the bass fishing, the largemouth and the smallmouth, you know, that's going to be on hold for a few days. The spring creeks are really starting to turn on with the topwater bite. So this is the time of year where more and more bugs are starting to show up on the surface, and the fish are really getting keyed in. So we've got sulfurs that are hatching. They'll kind of randomly pop off throughout the day, but they have big spinner falls in the evening. When I say the evening, you really need to be there for like the last 45 minutes of daylight. So 8:20, 8:30, right in there. That's when things are really happening. Also seen my first drakes of the season, seen them all over. So even saw some on the Shenandoah last week, slate drakes, mahogany drakes, yellow drakes, and then towards the end of this month, they're gonna see a bunch of our green drakes. So for you fly tyers out there, this is it. This is like the biggest mayflies of the season are about to be hatching. The drakes in this area typically hatch like the last 2 weeks of May and extend into the first 2 weeks of June. So size 10s, extended bodies. The only challenge with fishing those flies, particularly for like brook trout, is if you're using fine leaders, those big wind-resistant mayflies can spin up your leader a little bit. So you may have to go a little bit heavier than you normally would, but the spinner falls for the drakes also happen in the last couple hours of the day. So the low light conditions will allow you to get away with a little bit bigger, thicker leader. I'll talk more about the drakes once they're really here in big numbers, but they're starting to show up, and it's a good look ahead. Up in the mountain streams, same thing. There's some sulfurs here and there. There are Cahills coming off. There's still Hendricksons coming off. There's Yellow Sallies coming off. There's Caddis coming off. It's May, folks. It's the middle of May. So basically every major bug and insect catch is going to happen is happening. Some are in the morning, some in the evening. Also saw my first trichos of the year down on Mossy this week. Which is really helps fill out the morning. The spinner falls for those happen around like 10 o'clock, 10:30. They were at the very beginning of that. Those are going to be a really important bug and a really important hatch, but it takes them a little while to key into it. So it starts off sparse. It's going to become really thick within a month or two, and it'll be a very important part of the trout's diet as they lose their bigger bugs. Okay, you got to eat a lot of trichos to equal one drake. So I've been fishing dry dropper on the spring creeks, which is something I don't usually do until about this time of year, because the fish just don't key in on the top quite as much until there's a lot of food available. So big PMX up top and BWO merger or Copper John or just anything down below, right? Remember, it's May every mayfly that's going to hatch this month is in the creek. So your imitation on your nymph, on the nymph end, is really not super critical. What's important mostly is just fishing at the right depth. All right. The brook trout fishing is just top notch. It's not going to get any better than this. A lot of folks come in and say, what kind of fishing should I do this weekend? And I say, you need to focus on what is seasonally the best. All right. And a month and a half from now, it's going to be summer. It's going to be dry, more than likely. It's going to be hot, more than likely. And the brook trout fishing is going to suffer. And so get out there and really enjoy these mountain streams while they're just in peak condition. You can go out there, even on a cold morning like this. We had frost again this morning. Doesn't even matter. You can go put a dry fly on. You don't have to wait for it to warm up. There's so much food available. The window is so small for these brook trout in order to put on their weight for the year that they're just going to feed. So go have some fun in the mountains. The park is on fire. Find a new blue line stream you've never fished before. Park's got 25 different brook trout streams in it. If you need help picking one or finding one or figuring out whether it's top access or bottom access that you need best to get in there, stop by and we'll break out the maps or give us a call or email. The spring creeks are in great shape too. Something else to keep in mind is, as far as the state management of our trout fisheries go, they're going to stop stocking in the next 2 weeks, and they will be done until the fall. Okay, so the other thing that happens in the next couple of weeks is our delayed harvests will open up for harvest. Okay, so to the same point I was making before, some of these DH streams or delayed harvest streams like North River delayed harvest, Back Creek delayed harvest, places that fish really great through the fall, the winter, and the spring, they're going to open up for meat fishing in June. And so for all you catch and release fishermen that want to get out there knowing that there's just lots of head count, lots of fish in the streams, go hit your delayed harvests while they're fishing at peak, okay? Because after Memorial Day, those streams are going to open up and the fish are going to get caught out and you're not going to want to fish them again until the fall. All right, so delayed harvest streams, mountain trout streams, spring creeks, all fishing great. And get out there, hit those up, keep your eye to the USGS gauges, give us a call for all you bass fishermen and muskie fishermen who are looking to get back out. We can give you kind of up to the minute information on water clarity and flow, etc. And we'll be back on those in no time. So weather this week looks really pleasant and nice. Chance of rain is not until Friday or later. So we have 4 or 5 days of dry weather. Get out there and have fun and enjoy it. All right, I'll catch y'all next week.